Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about Twitter and the ridiculous responses I've been seeing on there to this recent tragedy in Las Vegas. We're also going to talk about how to protect yourselves and your family in this new scary world we're living in, with shootings and hackers and other threats around every corner. Our sponsor, Virtual Shield, has some great, easy, and affordable ways to protect your privacy, which we will get to soon. But first, back to the drama on Twitter. Of course, everyone is talking about the horrible shooting that took place in Vegas this Sunday night at a country music festival. At least 58 were reportedly killed and over 500 were injured in this devastating mass shooting. Simply terrible. Now, I like to wait a few days for the facts to come in on this kind of thing before I start commenting on something so horrible and tragic and very sensitive. We've got dozens of innocent people dead, hundreds injured. I feel like waiting a bit and letting this kind of situation breathe is a must. But many leftists on Twitter don't have that kind of patience, and many were more than happy to jump in head first to try and use this tragedy to push their own agendas. First, you got the former figurehead of the Democrats herself, Hillary Clinton, chiming in with, "The crowd fled at the sound of gunshots. Imagine the deaths if the shooter had a silencer, which the NRA wants to make easier to get." I don't know, Hillary. That's an interesting thought, though. Imagine the deaths if the shooter had a silencer, you say? I guess we could think about that. We could think about how things could be worse. I mean, imagine if he had grenades or a rocket launcher. I guess there's all kinds of worse shit that could have happened, but I don't really see any good reason to bring up these hypotheticals right now. No, the only reason Hill Dog has to say this is to try and use this tragedy to help her anti-NRA agenda. She's anti-gun and anti-Second Amendment, and it's pretty obvious. You're so fucking transparent, Hillary. Damn, get off Twitter, you old hag.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
And if you really think about it, I don't even think a silencer would help the shooter kill more people. Sure, it would dampen the sounds of his gun, but people would still hear it slightly, and they would also still see people getting shot and falling down around them. Plus, the guy already killed 58 people. I don't think just adding a silencer would make him get much more than that. The death toll was already pretty fucking high. Basically, Hillary's whole comment is bullshit. It's anti-NRA, anti-gun propaganda, and it's in very poor taste, especially for a fucking politician who wanted to be president at one point. Maybe nowadays she's just given up on appearances. Hell, I think we all wish she would just give up on giving any appearances at all. Next, we got the world famous Sean King getting his 2 cents in with this line: "Only in America can whiteness prevent the man who conducted the deadliest mass shooting in American history from being called a terrorist." And right off the bat, we can see Talcum X here is of course using the shooting to promote his anti-white agenda. He hates white people, obviously. Anyone who's seen his Twitter account could see that. I mean, really, no one exploits a tragedy like Sean, I have to say. But dog, do you even know what a terrorist is? Because it's not just anyone who kills people. Terrorists use violence against civilians in pursuit of political goals. This Vegas nut job was just a crazy mass shooter who killed himself at the end. He didn't state any goals. He didn't say that he was doing this because of religion or because he hated the president or something. There was no message or political goals about it. He was just fucked up and crazy. So the reason they're not calling him a terrorist is because he wasn't one. And he's certainly not getting an out here because he's white. And even if we say for a second he was not called a terrorist because he is white, which I don't believe, but just say that's true, it's not like not calling him a terrorist is getting him off the hook or anything. He's still being labeled as a crazy mass murderer who took the coward's way out in the end. He still looks bad and terrible regardless of the terrorist label. I really don't see why you insist he be called a terrorist anyway, Sean. Oh wait, I do actually. It's because you hate white people with a passion. Sean King hates white people like himself so much, he pretends to be black. It's pretty fucking pathetic. Now before we get to our last tweet, let's talk about your privacy for a minute. In this day and age with shootings and terrorism and hackings like the one at Equifax that released millions of people's private information to the world, online privacy is more important now than ever. That's why I teamed up with Virtual Shield again to offer you guys a great way to protect yourselves and your family. In short, Virtual Shield is the easiest VPN service to use in the world, ever. It's also very cheap. For less than $5 per month, you can protect you and your family's privacy with one of the world's most renowned VPNs. And for those who don't know, VPNs are virtual private networks that basically funnel your internet signature through Virtual Shield servers to keep you secure and safe. And that way, companies like Google and YouTube can't track you and your internet information. Virtual Shield is easy and very affordable. All you do is go to their website, link in the description below, sign up and install their app or extension. They have extensions for all the top web browsers like Chrome, Firefox, and Opera. It's very intuitive, super safe, and totally worth the $5 a month. Also, you can use the code NOBS for an additional 20% off, which also helps support the show and keep us at no bullshit free from the tyrannical reign of Google and our YouTube overlords. So if you're worried about your privacy and have thought about getting a VPN service, there you go. Virtual Shield is one of the best with a very fair price. You won't be disappointed. Now on to our last ridiculous tweet about Vegas. This one comes from the YouTuber Allison Raskin. It reads, "So strange that Trump's foolproof travel ban didn't prevent massive tragedy. #sarcasm. Looks like this little Jewish American princess is trying to use this mass shooting to bash Trump, and failing miserably at it, I might add. If Trump's ban was preventing tragedies, you wouldn't even hear about them in the news to begin with, because they wouldn't be stories because they were prevented. Obviously, for all we know, there could have been 2 or 3 other shootings this weekend that were prevented by the travel ban, and whether that's true or not, we wouldn't know either way." So this sarcastic bullcrap coming from Allison is just absurd. And by the way, where were you last week when that black Sudanese guy shot up that white church? Trump's travel ban could have prevented that shooting if it were in place in time, but no, let's ignore that because it doesn't fit this libtard's lefty agenda.
How do you feel about having recorded our book?
I have to pee.
Okay, but can you
let
just...
me pee and then we'll do this.
Now, before we go, there is some justice being served to at least one of these left-wing nutjobs talking shit about this shooting. The CBS television network was forced to fire one of their executives for saying this on their Facebook. "I'm actually not even sympathetic, because country music fans are often Republican gun toters." What a piece of work. Reminds me of the people who said Texas and Florida deserve the hurricanes because they voted Republican. Man, the indecency and lack of respect among Democrats really knows no bounds. What do you guys think? Is it wrong when people use tragedies to bolster their political goals? I actually think Shaun White is being more of a terrorist than the shooter in that sense. The shooter didn't even have any clear political goals he was going for with this, while Shaun certainly does. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. And one more thing about VPNs before we go. I know not everyone is as computer savvy as me, so I want to do a quick demonstration so you guys can really see how easy it is to use Virtual Shield. So after you install the extension onto your web browser of choice, you just click the little shield button here up at the top, click connect, and boom, it's that easy. Your connection is private and secured. I went ahead and checked my IP address on ipchicken.com, and now it's changed to the new secure Virtual Shield connection. You're now free to watch all the porn you want. There are multiple plans to choose from when going to virtualshield.com. I personally went with the 1-year Protection Plus plan, which gives you the most bang for your buck. It's less than $100 for a whole year of internet security. And the best part is, it's very simple. You can either download the Virtual Shield program or use the extension like I just showed you before. And that's that. Well, that's about it. Thanks again for watching today's episode, and thanks Virtual Shield for sponsoring the video. Until next time, bye-bye.
I let it go back to when we played as kids, but then changed. That's the way it is. Come on, come on. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same.
Is this interesting to anyone? What? You're not gonna hit it.
This is my nightmare.
You're not gonna hit it. You're fine.
Make spots like this.
I don't know, but this is compelling content.